Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lee, and today I just want to spend a few minutes talking about the power of simplicity. So here's the thing that I have learned about simplicity over my so far 51 years, and that's that when I am living and operating out of simplicity, it brings joy and it brings peace to my life. But here's the thing, I don't naturally drift or gravitate towards simplicity. If I'm not being intentional about simplicity, what happens is I drift towards complexity. I drift towards accumulating more. I drift towards consuming too much. I just naturally drift towards complexity, and I don't even have to work at it. And the thing about complexity, the thing about more and more information, more and more stuff, consumerism, more and more complexity, is that complexity for me leads to anxiety. So complexity leads to anxiety, but simplicity leads to freedom and peace and joy. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to share just a couple things from a book I read in the days of yore by a guy named Richard Foster. And in his book, The Celebration of Discipline, he just lays out a few things that I've been able to take and apply to my life and move intentionally towards simplicity. The first thing is to reject anything that produces addiction in you. So whether that's social media, whether that's an addiction to shopping, whether that's an addiction to food, anything that you look at it and you go, I could become addicted to this. Reject it and learn to live with less of it or none of it. The other thing is to develop the habit of giving things away. I've read that neuroscience says and has proven that the joy that we feel from giving things away is actually equal to and sometimes greater than the joy of receiving gifts. So to develop the habit of, instead of hoarding and holding on to things, giving things away. Next, refuse to believe the marketing hype that you have to have the latest and greatest fill in the blank. Now, some of you know that I have been holding on to the same phone for 3 years now. Look at that. Look how dinged up that case is. I own shoes that I've been wearing for 5 years. And there is so much freedom when all the push and the marketing and the advertising and the big events come out for the latest and greatest. There's so much freedom to be able to go, I'll get it whenever. Refuse to believe the lie that you've got to have the latest version of everything that comes out. Next, learn to enjoy things without having to own everything. There was a time in my life when I had to buy every Marvel movie that came out. I grew up reading Marvel comics. It was such a thrill for me to see all of my favorite characters up on the big screen. And I would just buy every DVD that came out. And then one day, I realized that I had a bunch of DVDs still in the shrink wrap. Sometimes I would either just watch it once or not watch it at all. And it occurred to me what a waste of money that was. We think that we need to buy the beach house to enjoy the beach, but we don't have to. If you can enjoy something without owning it, go ahead and do that. You don't have to own everything that you want to enjoy. The next thing that helps me to move towards simplicity intentionally is developing a greater appreciation for creation. There is just something special about going out for a hike, going out for a long walk, doing a little camping, going outside. When you learn to get outside and appreciate creation, then all the sort of gadgets and toys and created things hold a less appeal to you because they pale in comparison to how incredible nature and creation are. Next, don't go into debt to buy things that you want. I know there are financial gurus out there who talk about going into debt for buildings or real estate and investment and things like that, and whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm talking about is don't pull out your credit card and go into debt to buy some $500 gadget when you can save for it and take the time. Debt complicates our lives, but waiting and saving, well, that is simplicity. And then the last thing is just, shun the things that distract you from the truly important. If you're spending all weekend out in your man cave or out shopping while your children are not getting that time with you, maybe it's time to shun those things. Lock that garage door. Don't go shopping for a while. Spend your energy and your time on the things that are going to matter most. And a lot of times, the things that are going to matter most in our lives are people. You've probably heard the old saying, you're supposed to use things and enjoy people. I think I have that. Or use things and treasure people, but instead we treasure things and use people. Listen, shun those things that distract you from what's really important, and it will help lead to simplicity. Hey, I hope these things are helpful for you today. I hope that you move closer to simplicity and further from complexity and anxiety. And if there's something that you want me to talk about in these videos, would you drop it in the comments below? And if you like this, give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.